make sure that that they continue to evolve and they're exactly what you need within your practice. And so that information is really valuable to us, and we hope you take just a moment to fill that out. It really shouldn't take long, and we look forward to seeing what you have to say. I also want to let you know that if you attended this class in a group setting, which I know a lot of you have, we think that's great. I personally think that the learning experience is enhanced when you are taking classes alongside your colleagues and you're able to ask questions among each other and share ideas and decide how you want to incorporate certain tools into your own practice. So for those of you that are taking advantage of that tool, you want to use the proctor letter to enter in the names and email addresses of everyone you participated with, and we automatically shoot out CPE to all of you. And for everyone else, who is the majority of you who are using a single connection, just know that what we're going to do is reconcile the amount of time that you were logged in and the number of polling questions that you answered and email you your certificates. And if you don't get them today for some reason, probably it's because it ended up in your junk mail, and you could always log into your account tomorrow or system refreshes overnight. You're also going to be able to find a copy of the archive presentation. I recorded the entire thing, and so you can, of course, forward this along to any of your colleagues that should have been here today but couldn't be or weren't aware of the class, and you can give them that additional resource. And I mentioned earlier we have a lot of really good stuff going on right now. I hope you're going to join us in about 2.5 hours for the Healthcare Act presentation. It's only an hour, so hopefully that will work within your schedule. We offer it on a couple of different dates. But with that said, Fred, there were just a couple of questions I mentioned earlier I wanted to ask you. One of them was, does the 831B apply to insurance agencies that are forming a captive?
It applies to any type of property and casualty insurance company. So, in other words, it could apply to State Farm if State Farm premiums were below $1.2 million. It's just an election for an insurance company. So if you had an agency that, let's say, we made a deal with a carrier for a book of business, and like one of those agency captives I was talking about, yes, if its premiums were below $1.2 million, the captive could file that election, the agency captive that they own. Now, once you file the election, you can't get rid of it without permission from the regulators, and it's kind of not the regulators, but the Internal Revenue Service. So once you file it, so it's not something you can get out of any time you want without permission from the IRS. If you file the election and you still go beyond it, it's a black hole. There's really no clear understanding of what happens in that case. And the election is filed with the tax return. That election is filed with the tax return of the 831B.
I'm sorry to I didn't mean to interrupt. Another question that came through, and again, I apologize if you already answered this, but can they capitalize with redeemable preferred stock? Is that allowed?
You have you get into some, depending upon some other issues, but you can generally the regulators will let you do the capitalization of the captive, the stock ownership. They'll allow different classes of stock, and you can do different things with that. The captive, though, of course, for tax purposes, is always a C corporation. I'll just repeat myself on that. But as far as at the ownership level and how you design the different classes of stock, you've got some leeway there, too. So the answer is yes.
And when the 831B, when is that election filed? Sorry to skip around like that, but we had some follow